The Soviet Union has always had inferior carrier-based aircraft compared to the West. While the United States used all the might of its aircraft carriers in World War II and Vietnam, and the United Kingdom showcased theirs during the Falklands War, the Soviet Union was still busy rebuilding its fleet to fit its new doctrines. In the late Cold War, the most advanced type of Soviet aircraft carrier was the Project 1143 Krechet, and it was used for helicopters and VTOL aircraft. The Soviets had also planned to build the Oryol heavy aircraft carrier for fixed-wing aircraft, but the idea was eventually dropped. Still, the Navy was eager to get some classic carrier-based aircraft, since those promised major advantages in combat performance and reliability. After some long deliberations, the Navy decided to create a symbiosis of two projects that originally had nothing to do with each other. The Krechet-class cruisers were ordered to be rebuilt to work as takeoff lanes for a couple of new generation fighters, the light MiG-29 and the heavy Su-27. The work took more than a decade to finish. 5 of those years were spent on developing the carrier-based Su-27K. The original aircraft required numerous changes before it could operate with the Navy. The thing is, the Krechet aircraft carriers only had ramps instead of classic steam catapults. One of the reasons for this was the desire of the Soviets to make the cruiser more compact and adapt it to more climates. That's why the engineers had to face new requirements for the aircraft's thrust-to-weight ratio and stability, and the engine had to be reworked for the short takeoff capability. Another new feature that had to be added was foldable wings, a requirement introduced by tight decks and internal hangars of the carriers. On top of that, the engineers increased the wing area, added canards, installed special equipment for ramp takeoffs and arrestor gear for landings, and added an in-flight refueling probe. All these refinements made the total weight of the machine expectedly higher. The work on fixed-wing aircraft carriers was finished in the very last years of the Cold War. The Su-27K received the new name of the Su-33 and was getting ready to become the new major step ahead for the Soviet Navy. Compared to the standard Yak-38, it looked superior in pretty much everything. Its main competitor was the lightweight MiG-29K, a plane that couldn't boast any noticeable advantage in terms of operating costs and performance. The Navy finally got its hands on a multi-role carrier-based fighter that could face the challenges of modern conflicts and showed a balanced performance with no exorbitant price tag. The future looked pretty bright, but the Soviet Union soon collapsed. The concept of aircraft carrier strike groups was put aside, if not forgotten, and the few produced Su-33 fighters had to linger aboard the Admiral Kuznetsov aircraft carrier. The aircraft eventually underwent a service life extension program, but no deep upgrade is planned. One of the reasons is that the aircraft carrier itself spent some truly long years in repair. With the introduction of the Su-33 and the Yak-141, the Soviet carrier-based aviation seemed to have finally breached the barrier between hopes and reality. But the Soviet Union failed to make the last step. Where the Su-33 is doing much better, though, is in War Thunder. Its main difference with the ground-based version is 2 extra hardpoints that you can use to increase the number of R-27ER missiles. As for the rest, it's the same heavy, reliable fighter that can defeat pretty much any opponent it can face.